You don't say to mama, you don't read, oh. Says the tracking angel. You don't boast to mama, you don't cut. Now chain you they cut. Okay, now make I use my microscope, scan a reality scan, nigga area biafra phobia mentality. See, set mazin nam the canu free. One war. They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra, most I Jaja bless Biafra, Chukwu Kika Biama bless Biafra, conscientiousness bless Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. Started in 1804 by Uthman Danfodio, Rinom go built to Sokoto, Boo, Sa Amadou Bello, they massacred the Hausa, Maragi and Pura. What about the Shua, Zamfara and Adamawa? Referendum is the voice of everyone. Real freedom, Jahwe must be done on the land. Simon, they don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. Most I Jaja bless Biafra. Chukwu Kika Biama bless Biafra. Conscientiousness bless Biafra. Biafra. They tried by the canories, these reckless Fulanis. They conquered the Lorraine, fooling. They killing in Benue every day. Niger State and Plateau State every day. The whole of Middle Belt State every day, every day, every day. Our moo, don't do. They say we move, but now we move. They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. Most I Jaja bless Biafra. Chukwu Kika Biama bless Biafra. Conscientiousness bless Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. We know that they are the terrorists. Like the man called Shegumi, terrorist. Gabe Sheva Dixie Nabemi, terrorist. Isa Ali Ibrahim Batami, terrorist. Boko Haram in the army, terrorist. They stop the people from farming, terrorist. Abu Bakar Malami, terrorist. Mainstream media swami, terrorist. Now we have more sellers than buyers. Information minister liar, Mr. like Mohammed and liar. The truth is Biafra's fire. They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. Most I Jaja bless. Chukwu Kika Biama bless. Conscientiousness bless Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. They can come into Biafra land one day. Run them out of do the wall and one day. Pararafan and run them out now. Run them out now. Yo. Divided nations, decent, playing their bloody games against Biafra with the AU all the same. What a shame, such a pain. Nnamdi Kanu says Biafra, he comes away Biafra. Black people worldwide say Biafra, Marcus Garvey Biafra.
Yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you this afternoon. Raphael Chiamaka Jere here. By the grace of Chukwu Kikabiama Primi Henile, the acting minister of information, Biafra Republic government in exile. I come with a very official message from the Brgie cabinet, from BGC, Biafra, Brgie Governing Council, and the conflict resolution. On behalf of the Biafran people, and on behalf of the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. This I'm going to read after the outing of the 16th of September, the charade that the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom called Nigeria did in their court. The Biafra Governing Council have released a profound statement, and in this memo of 4-page, which I am going to read, please join me as we go through this together. Yeah, I think it is large enough for you to read. Hopefully, those of you with a large screen You will be able to follow as we read. It's a very long read. Please just bear with me as I will read from here. Biafra Republic Government in Exile, Brgie Governing Council, on September 30th, which is today, the memo. Subject, immediate medical transfer and release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Brigie's response to the court appearance of September 26th. This memorandum conveys the urgent and categorical position of the Biafra Republic government in exile, Brgie, regarding the treatment, detention, and recent court appearance, 26th of September, of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. It sets out our demands, the prima facie human rights violations observed, and our call for immediate international action. Summary of facts are divided into three. Number one, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appeared before a court in Nigeria on 26 September 2025, one of many hearings held since his extraordinary rendition in 2021 from the Republic of Kenya and subsequent illegal rendition into Nigeria. Number two, Mr. Kanu at the present time is reported to be critically ill and has formally demanded urgent transfer to a qualified medical facility in Abuja for assessment and treatment. A request that constitutes a fundamental human right irrespective of any criminal or political allegations. Number three, the authorities in Nigeria have denied or unduly delayed this medical transfer pending protracted investigations. For nearly 5 years, Mr. Kanu has been held in isolation. A detention regime we and many independent observers consider punitive and in violation of basic standards for the human treatment of detainees. Brigie's position. The treatment of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by the Nigerian state is intolerable, unlawful, and emblematic of a broader pattern of persecution against Biafrans and other targeted communities. Therefore, we make the following determinations. Medical neglect, denying or unduly delaying transfer to an appropriate medical facility when a detainee is critically ill amounts to inhumane or degrading treatment and constitutes cruel, unusual punishment under multiple international instruments. Arbitrary detention and isolation. Prolonged solitary confinement for political expression due to Kanu's advocacy for the rights, protection, and self-determination of Biafrans and other indigenous people contravenes internationally recognized standards on arbitrary detention and due process. Extraordinary rendition. The circumstances of Mr. Kanu's transfer from Kenya to Nigeria raise grave concerns about unlawful cross-border rendition and the involvement of state or non-state actors in acts that violate international norms. Double standards. The Nigerian government's willingness to engage in negotiated arrangements with non-violent terrorist groups while continuing to detain and deny medical care to an unarmed political leader of the indigenous people of Biafra and many other Biafrans similarly detained reflects a disturbing and selective approach to judicial process. Demands. According to Brgie, accordingly, the Biafra Republic government in exile hereby demand the following effectively immediately. The immediate and unconditional transfer of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to a medical facility of his choice, as recommended by competent independent medical providers for urgent assessment and needed medical care under independent medical supervision. Number two, that authorities in Nigeria must ensure full unfettered access to Mr. Kanu by independent medical professionals, legal counsel of his choosing, consular or diplomatic representatives, and international human rights monitors. Number three, that has already ruled by a court in Nigeria in the light of the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, the Federal Republic of Nigeria has forfeited any legal or moral jurisdiction to prosecute him. Under international law, extraordinary rendition is itself an unlawful act, and any subsequent trial or detention flowing from such an act is null and void ab initio. Therefore, Nigeria's continued detention and prosecution of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's Nigeria's continued detention and prosecution of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is illegitimate and must cease immediately. Number 4, that the international community, including diplomatic missions, the United Nations, human rights mechanisms, and regional bodies, immediately investigate the circumstances of his rendition, detention conditions, and denial of medical care. Number 5, that the government of Nigeria be brought before competent international forums, including referral to the International Criminal Court, ICC, to hold Nigeria accountable to many of its violations of rights of Mr. Kanu and several other Biafrans. The Biafra Republic government in exile asserts that Nigeria's treatment of Mr. Kanu violates fundamental international obligations to which the Federal Republic of Nigeria is a party. These obligations encompass standards on the prohibition of torture, inhuman treatment, the right to health and medical care for detainees, the prohibition of arbitrary detention, and the obligation to respect due process. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's life and dignity are at risk. What is at stake transcends individual faith. It is the rule of law, the credibility of international human rights protection, and the basic decency of any government that claims to uphold justice. This memorandum is to be treated as an urgent public record of the Biafra Republic government in exile's position and will be distributed to diplomatic posts, human rights organizations, legal monitors, and the international press. Page number 3. The Federal Republic of Nigeria has ratified several foundational international treaties and charters designed to safeguard human rights, ensure humane treatment of persons, and uphold the rule of law. Despite these commitments, Nigeria has consistently violated the very agreement it has pledged to honor. Below is a brief case demonstrating such violations. Number 1, Rome Statute of International Criminal Court, ratified 27 September 2001. The obligation prohibits crimes against humanity, including torture, persecution, and unlawful imprisonment. Violation: the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, coupled with his prolonged arbitrary detention and denial of urgent medical care, constitutes crime under the Rome Statutes, specifically unlawful imprisonment and persecution on political and ethnic grounds. Number 2, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR. The obligation guarantees the right to life, liberty, security of person, fair trial, and freedom from arbitrary detention or torture. Article number 6, 7, 9, and 14. Violation: Nigeria's ongoing detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in isolation for nearly 5 years without fair and transparent judicial process breaches Article 9 and 14. The denial of adequate medical treatment directly undermines his right to life and security under Article 6. Number 3, Convention Against Torture and Other Cruel, Inhumane, or Degrading Treatment or Punishment, CAT. The obligation prohibits torture or any cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment, obligates states to investigate and prevent such practices. Violation: holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in prolonged isolation, denying him urgent medical treatment, and subjecting him to inhumane detention conditions amounts to cruel and degrading treatment under CAT. Nigeria has failed in its obligation to prevent or remedy these abuses. Number 4, African Charter on Human and People's Rights. The obligation protects the right to dignity, liberty, fair trial, health, and freedom from discrimination. Violation: Nigeria's actions against Mr. Kanu violate his dignity Article number 5. Liberty, Article number 6. And right to fair trial, Article number 7. Furthermore, the denial of medical care violates the right to health, Article number 16. The continued persecution of Biafrans more broadly contravenes Article number 19, which guarantees people's right to equality and freedom from domination. Page number 4. Geneva Convention from 1 to 4. Obligation. The obligation protects civilians and those not actively participating in hostilities, forbids cruel treatment, and mandates humane treatment of all persons in custody. Violation by subjecting an unarmed political leader to extraordinary rendition, unlawful detention, and denial of medical care. Nigeria has breached the core humanitarian principle of humane treatment and protection enshrined in all 4 Geneva Conventions. Nigeria's treatment of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not an isolated case, but part of a pattern of violation that blatantly disregards its international obligations. Each of these instruments, the Rome Statutes, ICCPR, CAT, African Charter, and Geneva Conventions, binds Nigeria under international law. By violating them, Nigeria undermines its own credibility, if they have any. Signed, Biafra Republic Government in Exile Governing Council, BGC. This is a very important briefing, very important memo, and everyone that calls themselves Biafrans must make sure they share this particular video. If you can make them into audios, tag the United Nations, the real Donald Trump, every bodies that are concerned in this world, all of them, all over the world, tag them on X and let them get to, see this message. I am going to be posting them on my Twitter handle immediately I drop this program, so that we can share them and make them go viral. Nigeria is a criminal state. Nigeria is a crime scene. And if we do not address it, more people will suffer. Not only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, more people are suffering. Just like right now, what is going viral on the social media is the genocide that is taking place in Nigeria, whereby Christians are being targeted and massacred everywhere in Nigeria, and the world have been silent. Not until Bill Maher, a very public figure in America, released this video that is now making rounds everywhere, and the Nigerian press, Nigerian news stations are trying everything they can to debunk it. Even the shameless Minister of Information in Nigeria, a Fulani, came out to debunk it. Shameless people that should hide their heads in shame instead of coming out to hang their dirty linen in public. We will help them expose that dirty linen, so that the world will truly see them the way they are. I am Raphael Chiamaka Ajere, representing Brgie, and I am the acting Minister of Information, Biafra Republic Government in Exile. Thank you, and God bless you. Long live Biafra, and long live our leaders, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa.